You've been talking to somebody for 6 months and you're not officially dating?
Boy math is being in a situationship with a guy and finally having the guts to say we either need to break up or date.
Welcome to Real Girl World, your go-to destination for all things dating and relationships, and we discuss things according to YouTube's guidelines. My name is Hannah Jordan, and today's episode is about situationships, and we ask the question, is the juice worth the squeeze? I'm going to be reviewing some dating advice videos and tell you why they're terrible while debunking common dating myths, so grab your tea, get comfortable, and let us know in the comments below what you think.
Dodge me every single time somebody says something like, oh yeah, me and my situationship of like 6 months. Months? That siren is for you, because you have to be arrested for that. You've been talking to somebody for 6 months and you're not officially dating yet? What are you doing then? What is it?
I absolutely love this clip because not only is there a siren going in the background, but there's this red light. I don't know where it's coming from, but it just perfectly illustrates how I feel when somebody says they've been in a situationship that long.
Because at that point, you either have to be like pretty much acting like a couple, or you're just like super casual and it's going on for a really long time.
That would make me feel really insecure, and I couldn't do that.
Either way, somebody's got to be unhappy there. I wanted to be exclusive with my girlfriend after we'd been seeing each other for like a week. Because like, why not?
See, he made her his girlfriend after a week. What are you waiting for then? And come to think of it, that's exactly what happened with my husband and I when we first met.
I cannot fathom what you guys are doing for 6 months without making it an official relationship. Especially
if you're in a situationship, don't assume it's gonna last, and don't think that you're gonna change this person or change their mind into wanting to stay with you forever.
This is actually why I recommend having like longer than 3-month talking stage before you start dating as a boyfriend and girlfriend.
A 3-month talking phase? You shouldn't need that long. When you learn who you are, it's really easy to figure out who other people are as well. You do that so you can learn how to spot who you're most compatible with. But stick around because you'll learn how to through watching Real Girl World.
Honeymoon phase is usually over by the 3rd month, or it might last up to like anywhere to 7th to 8th month, but it's usually over within the first 3 months.
Oh wow, so according to her, it's probably quite normal for things to go on for 7 or 8 months? Oh dear. That's a really long time, and I don't see how romantic that can be, because if there's no boundaries of commitment, then couldn't he be doing that with somebody else too at the same time?
And if you see that the guy or the girl that you're talking to is consistent with their efforts for 3 months, then you see like, oh, they're gonna treat me like the same way, like after we date.
You know, I find that some of these people giving out advice seem to really overcomplicate things when it doesn't have to be that difficult or take that long. And all you have to do is figure out the answer to these questions. Do they like me? Do they share the same values? And do we want the same things in a relationship? This is what you call intentional dating, so that you know that you're not going to be wasting your time or have your heart broken.
But usually what happens is the guy will like start ghosting you. He will like stop talking to you after usually around like 3-month mark. And I think that's why usually I'm able to figure out what a guy's like within like the first month or two, because they just fall out. Make sure you talk to them for a long time before you commit to a relationship.
I completely disagree. And what exactly are you talking about? If you're not talking about the status of your relationship. She's saying you need to take a long time to get to know someone, so how long is long enough? What do you think in the comments below? So now we're going to look at some girls who've been in situationships, but when you listen to their language, it's almost as though they don't remember or believe that they were in situationships, and you'll see what I mean.
Boy math is being in a situationship with a guy and finally having the guts to say we either need to break up or date. And he says, I totally agree, just give me a few weeks, I want to ask you out of my own time. And then 2 weeks later, he breaks up with you.
The number one thing you have to remember about a situationship is it's not a relationship, and therefore he didn't break up with you. Sure, he ended things, he ended the arrangement, but what she failed to do before she got involved with this guy was to get a commitment out of him. And by getting involved in the bedroom with a guy before establishing any kind of relationship, it really removes any incentive he would have to commit to you. That's why situationships are always a bad idea, because the only thing they're based on is sex.
Boy math is him not buying you flowers because they're expensive or taking you on dates because it's expensive, but golfing every weekend with the boys and buying a new vape and also partaking in sports betting.
See, again, this isn't a case of boy math. This is a girl not understanding that she's chasing a guy that's actually not that into her, but is willing to entertain her advances once in a while. And yet, what she could do is probably just try to reevaluate the kind of man she's attracted to, and maybe lower your expectations on how tall, how good looking that man needs to be. If he's a good guy, he's a good date. So this is a classic example of people normalizing something that's actually not that healthy for people in society. And it's a really cute video with the music. It actually feels like it might be romantic, but at the end of the day, situationships tend to only really end up one way, and that's someone getting hurt.
I feel like a guy knows within like a month or two if he wants to be your
boyfriend. Let me make this short and sweet. You're definitely wrong. You think it takes a month or two? 15 minutes tops. Sure, there might be a few dates, maybe a few weeks, whatever, just to make sure that gut feeling's right. But if it's been months, he don't want to date you, girl. Any guy says otherwise, he's full of shit. He's just stringing you along for alternative motives.
You'll notice that I like to post clips that are made by men because I think it's really important to really listen to the people that we are trying to connect with. Because how can we possibly be successful if we don't understand men and how they think? One of the things I like about men the most is typically they are a lot more decisive than women are, and they just go for it. And so I thought it was really helpful to show that you don't have to hold out for that 3 months, 6 months talking phase, when clearly coming from a guy telling you, they already know long before you do if they want to be in a relationship. That's why I want to share with you one of my favorite sayings, which is, you teach people how to treat you by what you allow, what you stop, and what you reinforce. I like this because it reminds us that we're in full control of our life, including our relationships, and you can use this to remind you on how to conduct yourself and what kind of treatment you're willing to accept from other people. If you found any of the information in this video today useful to you, please consider liking and subscribing so I can bring you more tips and information on how to date in the real girl world. Thanks for watching.